everybody, this is Kim Wendy, owner of PassionateHorsemanship.com. Tonight we're going to be talking about winter horse care tips, and I'm going to be talking to you tonight about forage or hay. But first of all, I want to say thank you to the replay viewers. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this on the replay. And if you do, leave me a comment below. I'd love to reach out to you and say hi. I also want to say thank you to those of you who are joining in live tonight. I appreciate you taking the time to watch too. So, for those, some of you know me and some of you don't. I'm Kim Wendy, owner of Passionate Horsemanship. I have 40 plus years of experience with horses, and I'm a professional trainer. I teach horse owners how to become the confident leader their horse will trust and love. And my specialty is in trail obstacle, whether it be horse agility, in-hand, or ridden trail. So again, the topic tonight is winter horse care tip, and this is going to be about forage or hay. And so the deal is with what happens in the wintertime is that the average horse requires 2% of their body weight in hay. And the hay is what helps to keep them warm and helps to keep a good body condition. So the bulk of their diet needs to be hay, not other things. Hay is the most important thing. Now, some may require less and some may require more, because if it's less, you have easy keepers who, they're like air ferns. They get fat just looking at hay and grain and stuff. So, they may require a little bit less. You just got to watch them during the winter and see how they're doing, what their body condition is like. A lot of horses tend to put on a lot of hair, and you've got to feel their body and see what's going on there, because that a lot of hair can mask what's going on with your horse. Especially I had found this like with some of the miniature horses. They tend to put on a lot of hair. And so you need to feel their body to find out what's going on, because you think, oh, they look great. They're nice and plump and all that stuff. And you feel them and they're not. They're not that plump. So they need more calories. So horses there's going to be some that require more. They may require up to 3%. And that may be horses that are like pregnant, your breeding stallions, your athletes, the ones that are competing all the time and working really hard, or older horses. And my older horse, he's gone now. I had to put him down a few years ago, but he was one of those that he was a hard keeper. Even, in his younger years, he was still a hard keeper. So he required a lot more hay. And as he got older, it was a lot harder to maintain. And sometimes we find that in our older horses. And it's not fun having one that you're trying to really keep up to keep that weight on him, because it can be a challenge. It definitely can be a challenge. I definitely went through that, and I hated the way that he had looked at times and stuff, but he had the best of care. He had the dental care done. He had hay all the time and stuff like that. And he just was one of those that was a hard keeper. So 1,000-pound horse, if we go by the 2%, they're going to require 20 pounds a day. Now, in the wintertime though, they may require more. So they may require 25 to 30 pounds a day. Again, you just have to really pay attention to them, look at their body condition and how that's looking. Because the thing is, you don't want to not pay attention to it, and then one day you look up and go, wow, what happened? My horse, I can see some ribs and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you, sometimes those things can happen rather quickly. And during the winter, it can happen a little bit faster, because the thing is, they're really digesting, trying to keep warm that hay. So, fiber digestion, and that's your hay. That is when it is going to produce the most heat for the horse to stay warm. And they need that hay during the winter to help keep their body warm. And it helps, what it does is when they're digesting that fiber or the hay, it makes their gut work more, so it produces more heat within the body. Now your easy keepers, what you would want to do with them is feed them more of a low nutrient hay that's really mature, dry, but doesn't have any mold, because you don't want the excess calories. Now for a hard keeper, what's going to be better for them is to get hay that's a little bit immature, that's tender, and you want that to be really nutrient rich. So you might want to feed them an alfalfa grass mix to help them, because there's going to be more calories in that. And that's what I did with my older horse. Is he still got coastal, but he also got alfalfa with it too, to give him those extra calories to help him out. For every degree below 18 degrees, your horse is going to require 1% more hay. So keep that in mind, because I know some places it gets really, really cold in the wintertime. Thank goodness here in Texas, we don't have a whole bunch of 18 degree or below. We've had some really cold temperatures, but not like it is up north where it can stay that way for weeks and be really, really cold. Now, grain, here's the deal. Some people believe that on grain, that I just need to feed my horse more grain. And that is not a good thing to do in the wintertime, to feed your horse more grain. Because the thing is with grain, it's the digestion and absorption and utilization of grain is not going to produce the same amount of heat that hay will. You are better off feeding them more hay than you are grain. And the other thing is, if you feed them more grain, then you can set them up for colic easier. So I do not recommend you feeding more grain. If you see that your horse is cold, I would definitely be giving them more hay, because again, that helps to make the gut work harder when you give them more hay to produce more heat. The grain is not going to do that for you. It's just going to cause you more problems. And it can be more acidic, which can cause other problems. So I would just feed them more hay. And I know sometimes during the winter, I've seen my horses where, they're shaking. And we all want to, it's like, oh, that poor horse is so cold in their body. That's how it starts generating heat. But then you want to give them more hay to help that. By digesting that hay, it's going to produce more heat. So again, let me recap here. And what I'm going to be doing is over the next 4 days is giving you other winter horse care tips. Tonight, we're just going to be talking about the forage or the hay. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to give you some other winter horse care tips. So be sure and come back. I will be here at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time each night to give you tips on winter horse care. So again, the average horse needs about 2% of their body weight in hay, but they could require more if it gets colder. And that's what produces the most heat is hay. Some are going to require more, depending on if it's a pregnant mare, a breeding stallion, an athlete, or an older horse. They could require like up to 3%. And easy keepers, you don't want them to have the extra calories, so get them a hay that is more mature. Hard keepers, you're going to want to get them a hay that is not as mature and as tender and has higher calories, like an alfalfa grass mix. And then the last thing is if they're cold or it's getting really cold outside, do not feed them extra grain. That is not going to help your horse and could set them up for colic, among other things. Instead, give them extra hay. That is going to be your best choice. So if you have questions about any of this that I went over tonight, leave me a comment below. I am happy to help you, answer your questions for you. You can even send me a private message. and we can talk about it. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for. My passion is to help people with their horses. So again, I appreciate you being here tonight. You can find more information at my website by going to passionatehorsemanship.com. I have a lot of information over there for you on my blog to help you out with your horse. So thanks again for being here. I appreciate your time and have a great evening.